Monday, January 6, 2025 shall come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mark. Seconded by Bennett. Oh, got the wrong one. All right, anyway, it's been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now we need approval of the consent agenda. A, approval of City Council meeting minutes of December 16, 2024, of which you have a copy. Approval of the bills and claims, of which you also have a copy. We need approval of pay estimate number 5 for the Surf District Streetscape Improvement Project to Dean Snyder Construction in the amount of $45,012.64. We need approval of change order number 2 for the Surf MEC project in the amount of $16,849.60. We need approval of employment agreement with Jacob Widman to serve as acting city administrator. We need appointment of Mark Keebling, First Ward City Council member, as Mayor Pro Tem for fiscal 2025. For the year 2025, we need a designation of the Clear Lake Mirror Reporter as official newspaper of the City of Clear Lake for legal publications, and Mason City Globe Gazette as the alternate. We need appointment of approval of the appointment of Paul Stevenson to replace Josh Thompson as the City of Clear Lake appointee on the North Iowa Corridor Economic Development Board through June 30, 2027. We have the following licenses and permits: liquor license, Class C retail alcohol license with the Boulevard, Class C retail alcohol license, Lake Time Brewery, Class C retail alcohol license, the Surf Galley, and Class C retail alcohol license with the Surf Ballroom. Those are all renewals. Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Mark, that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now is the time and place for any citizen in the audience who wishes to address the council on any issue or concern that is not on the agenda. Please approach the podium, state your name first and last, and give your address so the clerk can properly enter it in the minutes. This is not a discussion time nor a question and answer time, and you have 3 to 5 minutes. None appearing. We'll move on to unfinished business. Number 5, an ordinance establishing a no parking zone area on South 12th Street and a 3-way stop intersection at First Avenue South and South Shore Drive, and this is on the third and final reading. Therefore, I need a motion to approve ordinance number 887, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Clear Lake, Iowa, 2003 by adding a new 3-way stop and a no parking zone by this city council. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Creighton, that we approve ordinance number 887. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
And Dana?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0, and ordinance number 887 is duly adopted on the third and final reading. 6A, new business, Clear Lake Consolidated Urban Renewal Area Plan Amendment Review. Jacob Widman, Acting City Administrator. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight we'll be starting with the purple sheets in your packet and kind of walking through this urban renewal plan amendment. If you recall, on December 2nd, we started the process of doing this urban renewal plan amendment to add the Lake Pen and Play project into the plan. This allows us to be able to capture tax increment financing for use in the project. And under TIF law, you have to have each individual project added to your urban renewal plan. So anytime we have a new project that comes along that we want to use TIF dollars on, we have to add it into the plan and follow this process. And so we set the hearing at that December meeting. We held a consultation with the county and the school on the 13th, published a hearing, and then tonight we're doing the hearing and the approval of the plan amendment. The plan amendment then is on the next set of sheets, these yellow sheets in your packet. So just kind of an introduction there, a description of their project. Basically, they're developing the new bowling alley down in the Surf District. Just really excited to see this project coming in down there with all the improvements we're doing with the streetscape and the MEIC. And so just this will be a great addition down there. Just a great addition to the community in general. So as far as cost goes, we're looking at doing a $250,000 tax rebate over 7 years. We'll do a forgivable loan of $350,000 and then a signage grant up to $10,000. So total new debt added through the project will be $610,000. So the resolution then is on the blue sheet, and then at next council meeting, so January 20th, we will approve a formal development agreement with them. We did the letter of intent, now we're doing the plan amendment, and then the final step in the process is doing a development agreement. So I think that's all I have. I know the owners are here, and so I asked them to just come up and give a quick little brief update on the project for you guys.
First of all, any questions for
Question.
Jacob? Thank you, Jacob.
Yep.
Welcome, Mr. Kerr and Mr. Plaguey.
Good evening, everyone. If you guys have driven by, I think you've probably seen making some progress, slow and steady, but the exterior is close to being done. We'll still add what's the component we had on
Just a facade
Yeah.
component still remains.
to fill in that
Exterior.
extra black part. We'll dress it up a little bit more yet. So on the interior, painting is all done and lanes are installed. The bowling company comes back next Monday to do the final components of it. They'll put the Neoverse in, which is our big screen above the pins, and then also the scorekeeping system. And then the following week, all our arcade games and the simulator companies either come in next Monday or the 20th also. And then equipment is being shipped in a little bit each time. We're moving all the kitchen equipment in tomorrow, and we'll start hooking that up. Flooring will be completed by this weekend. So we're still hoping for that end of January soft opening, at least probably, but it's kind of a moving target. Just once we get everything in place, some employee training, and just figuring out all the loose ends of it. But yeah, making progress. You got anything else?
You're both doing the cooking?
Well, we'll learn it, but we did get, Tyler and I and our wives did go through the Surf Safe certification, so we are all official, but, yeah, we've got some good cooks coming on, and, we're probably, 75% staffed?
Yeah.
So, feeling good about it. Of course, we'll have several stressful moments we've had, but, yeah, it's been fun. We're looking forward to it.
Bowling alleys on the level, or are they tilted one way or the other?
We'll let you know.
You'd say,
Any questions for us?
yeah, I'm interested in the golf simulator.
Yeah, that'll be nice when
Plural,
we get them going.
plural, one, two?
Two.
Two.
Yep. Full Swing is the brand, so it's kind of high level golf, but then they're multi-sport too, so, we're gonna offer, some birthday party packages, family stuff, where you can mix it up a little bit, and so, yeah.
And those are synthetic alleys, aren't they? They're not,
Right.
they're not the,
Yeah, they're a synthetic floor,
Yeah.
which pretty much is all you're gonna get on the new install anymore. But looks like the original.
yeah, I peeked through the window the other day and I thought, boy, they look a lot like the
Yeah.
regular.
With going the full length lanes and approach, after we're operational, we have to send off an application and a inspector will come in and we can become sanctioned. So they can be official, so.
That's great.
We've had the question about the pin setter system, but it can be signed off on, so they'll be full legit, so. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Any questions of these gentlemen? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Now we'll have the open public hearing with regard to the Clear Lake Consolidated Urban Renewal Area Plan Amendment that we just talked about. If there's anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on that, please approach the podium, state your name first and last, give your address so the clerk can properly enter in the minutes. None appearing, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Motion, please, council.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Mark, that we close the public hearing with regard to Clear Lake Consolidated Urban Renewal Area Plan Amendment. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. And now I need a motion to approve Resolution 2501, a resolution to approve 2025 Urban Renewal Area Plan Amendment for the Clear Lake Consolidated Urban Renewal Area. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Dana, that we approve Resolution 2501. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Creighton,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Dana,
Yes.
and Mark.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. And Resolution 2501 is duly adopted. Now I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2502, a resolution setting the date of a meeting, which shall be January 20th of 2025, right here in this room, at which it is proposed to approve a development agreement with DX2 Investments, LLC, including annual appropriation tax increment payments. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Mark, that we approve Resolution 2502. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Bennett?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Creighton?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0, and Resolution 2502 is duly adopted. Thank you all for that. Clear Lake Hotel Development LLC pre-development agreement review. Mr. Widman again. Welcome, Jacob.
Mayor, once again, this pre-development agreement that we'll be going through is in your packet in the yellow sheet there. As you all are aware, we're once again right down in the surf district down there, working on that redevelopment. So we got that Destination Iowa grant. They had three key components to it. It had the streetscape component, the MEIC, and then the lake connection component. And so as a city, we've been working hard on getting those parts of the projects done. And also when we submitted our application to the team at Destination Iowa, we had a hotel imagined down there, just off to kind of the side of the MEIC. And so we've been working through that. I know some of the original concepts had the city owning the hotel, or at least doing some financing with the hotel. And we're still kind of working through a lot of those details, seeing who will do the development down there, and who will be the lead on it. And basically this pre-development agreement is with Market Point from Minnesota. They've developed an LLC to work on seeing if it will work for them to put a hotel down in this area. And so basically what the pre-development agreement does is it gives them a limited term exclusive right to work on putting a hotel down there. Some of the functions include pursuing and securing an optimum site for the new hotel, prospecting and securing local and regional investors, discussions with local or regional lenders on the appetite for lending for the new hotel, and then ultimately working with community personnel and determining the preliminary approvals for moving the project forward. So just important to know, it just allows them to do their due diligence to see if it makes sense for this developer to do a hotel down there. It doesn't commit the city to working with this developer. I think the idea would be if it works for them and it works for the city, then we would enter into a development agreement at the end of this. But there's a lot of steps between now and then, and this just allows them to do their due diligence and work through it. I did have one change to the agreement. So on page 2, under the due diligence section, we had originally put that out to June 1st. In talking with the developer today and also some of the partners down there, we'd like to change that to April 1st instead of June 1st. They're quite confident they'll have all their due diligence done in March. And so that way, if it doesn't work for them, then we can start working with another developer at that point in time. Any questions on it, or?
Council, any questions for Jacob? Thank you, Jacob. Therefore, excuse me, I entertain a motion to approve a pre-development agreement between the Clear Lake Hotel Development LLC and the City of Clear Lake by this particular city council. Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Mark, that we approve the Clear Lake Hotel Development LLC pre-development agreement. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now, 6C, Veterans Memorial Golf Course Operating Lease Agreement Extension. Jacob, you're a popular guy tonight.
I'm a popular guy tonight. So just continuing to work through the agenda here, just a lease extension for out at the golf course. We originally entered into an operating agreement with them on March 7th, 2011. And since then, we've done some renewals. And so their last expiration actually expired the end of December here. And so we're looking at doing another 2-year extension. I think the operating group out there has done a really good job with the golf course. And so just looking to continue on that relationship out there for another 2 years.
Do we have any representatives from the golf course here tonight?
I don't believe
Okay.
so. I know Mark is on the board out there.
Well, I guess we do have a representative.
Speaking for them.
That's an agreement I do believe we've had almost 20 years now. It's been a long time. It doesn't seem that, but it has been. And things every year, it's been quite positive out there, if I'm not mistaken. So
For sure.
even allows old guys to play out there, which is good to know. Any questions other than that, council? Okay. Therefore, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2503, a resolution of the City of Clear Lake, Iowa, approving an operating agreement, term extension agreement for the Clear Lake Veterans Memorial Golf Club Foundation Incorporated for the Clear Lake Veterans Memorial Golf Course by this particular council. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Dana, that we approve Resolution 2503. Is there any discussion? Roll call, Dana.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Creighton.
Yes.
And Bennett.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Resolution 2503 is duly adopted. 6D, LED lighting upgrade for the library and the aquatic center. Jacob?
Okay, last item to work through here on my portion for now. So this is on the white sheets towards the end of your packet. So we were approached by ROI Energy back in September of this year to look at kind of doing a little bit of a lighting energy audit to see if there was any areas within the city where we could do upgrades that would make sense both financially and from a green perspective of being able to save energy. So they looked at all city departments, they looked at city streetlights, and over the years we've done quite a bit of upgrading, and so by and large they found that we had done a lot of upgrading to our lights to make them LEDs, and but there was still 2 areas where they kind of identified that needed some additional updating. And so if you look on the page number 2 of their proposal there, that is kind of a summary of their findings. There's 2 facilities that they identified, the public library and then out at the pool. And so their proposal is to eliminate the ballast and upgrade all fixtures. It'll make for consistent lighting at those locations and then also increase the lighting levels at those locations. The total project cost that we're looking at is $50,377. Alliant Energy does provide some rebates on that. And so that's $9,904, bringing the cost to the city down to $40,407. Overall, that's an 80% funded by the city, and then we do get some annual savings around $7,500 a year. So our payback on this would be about just over 5 years, 5.35 years. So then kind of working through the proposal a little bit, the next page just kind of gives a little more detailed breakdown of those numbers. The following pages give you some details of some of the lights that they'll be switching out and some of the new lights that they'll be replacing them with. And so I wanted to jump to page number 15. It gives the project kind of by facility. And so it has the first one there on page 15 is the public library. So it gives a detailed breakout of all the lights that they'll be changing out over there. The total customer cost at the library is $29,626. And then that'll have about a 6.6 years of payback on it. So a little bit longer payback at the library. But I think I was talking with Aaron over at the library, and there's been a little bit of LED upgrading over there, but this will really help make everything consistent over there. And there's a few areas that the lighting's not the greatest over there, and this should help to eliminate some of that. So even though the payback isn't as good on the library as it is at the pool, I think it'll make that facility over there a lot nicer. Page 16 then has the pool. So the customer cost on this one is $10,847, and the payback years is just 3.5 years on this. And it should really increase the lighting out there. I think the lights, when you turn them on out there right now, it takes them a while to turn on. These will turn on instantly outside. And it just should provide a lot better environment out there in addition to the cost savings. So kind of next steps, which is on that page 17. So we will finalize the agreement tonight, then send it over to ROI. They'll work on getting the materials and a contractor. And then within 90 days of getting that executed contract, they'll actually do the replacement and installs. And then once it's all completed, then we'll pay them for the project. So, and then they also have some references there. And I will say I did reach out to Charles City, Steve, the city manager over there, and he was really impressed with the work they did and gave a good recommendation for them. Any questions on any of that?
Yes, Jacob, thank you very much for the presentation. You mentioned the library, and I know we've done part of that. Refresh my memory about what percentage of the library did we do with that upgrade a while back?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I want to say maybe 30–40%.
Okay.
So this is still a good chunk of the library that we'll be doing.
Okay, well, I would just add this comment that I think it really improved the lighting there. And like you mentioned, I like the payback feature
Yep.
on this project in terms of the cost savings. So I think it will really do a nice job of, again, improving the lighting in the rest of the library, which people love, and I think at the pool as well. So thank you very much.
Anything else, council? Great project, very good. Therefore, entertain a motion to approve LED lighting upgrade proposal in the amount of $50,277. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Dana, that we approve LED lighting upgrade for library and aquatic center. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 4-0. Chief, police report. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I believe underneath the agenda item for myself, you have our request to approve the permit, special event application for Color of the Wind Festival coming up on February 15th. There's should be 3 maps associated with that application that myself, Captain Hines, and members from the chamber worked through to submit with that application. We modified the event footprint there a little bit from the original submitted request from the chamber that impacts Maine a little bit less than what had been previously been requested. So the original request was to have Maine closed from South Third Street to South Shore. We're able to relocate some items through there where the vendors are going to be and have Maine open just through that block there. So the only impact is Maine from South Shore to the lake, North Lakeview up to 2nd Avenue North, and just a little bit of 1st Avenue North there as well. Then there's the second map there is an extension of the first map, just showing our map will push out to the public for those who don't want to get out and venture on the ice and in the cold weather. They'll drive down North Lakeview there to see the kites, and then there's some additional no parking on North 5th Street, North 4th Street that we'll just close off for the buses to come through and pick up from the satellite parking spots. So they have reserved parking for them, but there's no road closures there on 5th and 4th Street. I will address a couple of concerns we've had over the past couple of years, and that were refreshed with events in New Orleans on New Year's Eve. So one of our concerns has always been a vehicle-related incident with all the large groups of people we have up in our special events too. Last year, we worked with emergency management, which Councilman Smith is part of the representative for the city there, and they were able to purchase through some funding and some grants there some temporary vehicle barriers that they're going to loan to us for our special events. And the first deployment of those pieces of equipment will be for the Color of the Wind in 2025 too. So what they are, they're a metal-made barrier that is designed not necessarily to be immovable by a vehicle, but if a vehicle were to go through it, it would stop the vehicle by pivoting the vehicle up, getting the vehicle's wheels off the ground too. So we're gonna try and deploy those 3 intersections there at Main and South Shore, 1st Avenue North and North Shore, and then at 2nd Avenue North and Lakeview. So it'll give us some extra safety barriers for the people on foot in there. If you recall from our 4th of July schematics, when we put those maps together, we repositioned some dumpsters and stuff on South Shore Drive there to allow us a little more protection in case I had vehicles through there. If you were up on the North 3rd and Main, we had patrol cars parked there. And those are some of the things we've done to kind of add some safety barriers for the pedestrian traffic up there too. So we're taking all into consideration and looking at some other avenues we have to protect the public up there as they go through. And it's not always a malicious intent. We always have the ability of somebody who's inebriated or somebody who gets the gas and the brake mixed up and accidentally goes through and does something on accident there too. We do have a couple of those a year. I think we've had 2 or 3 last year where a vehicle, somebody gets their gas and brake mixed up and hits a building or goes into a vehicle in front of them too. So we're just looking at all areas of caution with that. And I just figured we address that with council with the recent events in New Orleans there too. But our suggestion after meet with council, with the chambers to approve the permit, as that map states there too. Some other small things, we added some additional ADA parking on Main there and 1st Avenue North. Other than that, it's pretty much the same footprint we had approved for last year's event, even though it did not go. And then in 2023, the footprint's the same there as well too. So if you have any questions on the layout and traffic flow there, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. But other than that, that's all I really have to report. Other than we've started our new year like everybody else, and we're getting all of our stats together for the council for our yearly 2024 report. We'll get to you hopefully by the end of the month, early February, with everything we did last year.
The no parking areas, they're by the dock, is that so it doesn't block the in and out gate, so-called, of that?
So the chambers hired some buses to shuttle
Oh.
people that want to come up to the event from the high school and some other parking areas, and those are for the shuttles to be able to come in and park and drop people off. There's 2 shuttle routes, and one will go to 5th and drop off by the dock there. The other is on 4th by the furniture store. And depending on which shuttle you're on, they're designed on opposite sides of the road, so the bus can pull up, and as you egress and ingress out of that bus or the shuttle, you're going on to the sidewalk instead of into the street there.
That's a good idea, the buses. That's the first time we've done that for
We did it in 2023.
Color of the Wind, yeah.
And it's a huge event. It draws people from all over. I don't know if you look at some of the stats that the chamber pulls from their analytics for people that come and visit here, but we were up, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think it's almost 20,000 people coming into Clear Lake for that one day, for that one event. So the more we can do to get less vehicles up there and have satellite parking areas and bus people in is, it's a lot easier and less headaches and congestion for everybody uptown. Plus then you get the added foot traffic, everybody walking down Main by all the storefronts, and hopefully increases their productivity for the day.
And you're guaranteeing that Color of the Wind will occur.
Right. It can occur, it may not occur on the lake, but
It sure does draw some good publicity, and, you know, all started by husband and wife, and look where it's gone. So,
yeah, I've never been shy to say I enjoy all the special events here, and anything we can do as the police department to keep the events growing and new events, it's great. I look forward to the challenges and the work that it brings with us, but it's great for our community, and this is another great event to have in the middle of the winter, what's typically for towns like us is a slower time of the year, but Color of the Wind, the snowmobile events they have, all the other stuff that we can do out on the lake when it's frozen are just great for our community.
anything else, council? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Public Work Director's report, Jeremy Kornberg. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Really all I got for tonight is we got in prices for our long line, center line painting that we do every spring. Last year, when we got our prices, they came in very, very high, so we had to cut back on a lot that we did. Just did mainly center lines. A lot of the edge lining didn't get done. I think last year we ended up being around $55 a gallon, which the previous year, I think we were at like $24.50 or $25.50. So we went and got 3 bids. Vogel Traffic Services, who had done it 2 years ago, came in at $29.75 a gallon. Quality Striping was $40 a gallon, and Iowa Plain Signing was $56 a gallon. So Vogel Traffic Services does a good job at that $29.75 a gallon. Is actually a pretty good price based on the market these days. So I guess my recommendation is we usually use between, I guess 460 to 500 gallons of paint to do all of our edge line painting. So what we have budgeted, this would, if we stay in that number, we'll be fine. So I guess my recommendation would be to go ahead and get them booked. I know last year by the time we did it like we normally do, but Vogel Traffic Services had a very large contract with a lot of counties, so they got booked up really early and weren't doing any municipalities or communities. And those other 2 kind of more specialize in parking lots and smaller projects, so they go for a higher dollar amount. So we did talk to them this morning as well and just checked in with them again, and they have us penciled in, so that's good. So I guess my recommendation would be to go forward with Vogel Traffic Services a bid of $29.75 per gallon. I think the total would come in right around that $14,000 range for the entire community. So we do a lot of the downtown stuff ourselves, and we just buy that off a separate line. But for this, they can get it done in pretty much an afternoon. So we have had conversations with them in the past. There are times where if they can get it done in a single day or single afternoon, we do get a discount. I don't know if that would be the case here. It just kind of depends on their schedules. So, but yeah, so if there's any questions on that, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, just looking for a motion to approve that purchase.
Boy, that's $25 difference between top and bottom per gallon.
Yeah, and that hit us by a shock last year. We were kind of expecting that. Yeah, I mean, we expected an increase, with everything that's been going on. So we were figuring maybe in that $30 an hour rate, $30 a gallon range. But last year everything was 55. So I was really we went out early to get bids just to make sure we didn't need to do any amendments or anything this year. And yeah, we're really pleased to get back that bid from Vogel Traffic Services. So yeah, really pleased with that, actually.
Any other comments, questions, council? Before I entertain a motion to approve the proposal of Vogel Traffic Services for the long line / center line painting for the spring of 2025. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Creighton, seconded by Dana, that we approve the Vogel Traffic Services for long line, center line painting. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Jeremy, we've had our maybe first and only snow. Things went well.
Yeah, for the most part, everything was pretty straightforward, so pretty good. Happy with so far with the weather.
Brian and so on, that seems to,
Yeah, we had a couple events there where we used some brine just to keep the, kind of get through, and didn't really have, I think we had some skips of snow, a little bit of ice, that works out pretty well, so, and honestly, I think that last snow, I don't think we really anticipated having to do any removal going into it, but it just kind of stuck around, so, yeah, it's been a uneventful winter so far, I guess, so.
that's the same as what Jim is using on the sidewalks around the
Yep,
parks.
yep. We work with the DOT to get that through them right now, so, yeah, it's the same thing that goes on sidewalks as we use on the roads, just different.
Great, thanks. City engineer, Mr. Steady.
A lot of things in the works, but nothing that needs to be discussed tonight, so I'll give you guys the night out.
That's good.
Thanks, big guy. Appreciate that. All right. Under mayor's report, fire department, did you have, Jim? Thanks for being here. Yeah.
Well, Mayor, Council, appreciate being here. I brought Greg Southgate, one of our lieutenants, with us today too. Takes two of us to replace Assistant Chief Keefe, and he likes to come to these meetings. And I just want to mention that because he had back surgery this morning. And I just got a text from his wife. He's doing well, and he's watching the council meeting. And so I'm sure he's making sure that we're doing everything correct.
Minding our P's and Q's.
Yeah.
Well, we wish him a quick recovery.
Yeah.
You see, Keefe, it takes two to replace you.
Yeah. So, other than that, we've wrapped up 2024 with 1,495 calls total, I think. 5% down from the previous year, which last year was a record year. So coming down a little bit didn't surprise us, but it did. We always have a pool of how many calls we'll have. Jacob, we invited him to last month's meeting, so he witnessed this. Everybody lost because everybody was over the number. So seeing that number come down was kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do that again this year. So 130 calls
For
last
December.
month.
Yep.
Structure fire, garage fire, Christmas Eve, and then a couple lake incidents.
Yep.
That's a couple car accidents, but nothing really serious.
No, the recovery, the drone went well.
Yeah,
The use of
yeah.
that.
We've used that drone very successfully. Today, as a matter of fact, Ice Shack was called in that had sunk in the lake, and so we utilized the drone to go out there. It was quite a ways from shore, so rather than sending people out there, walking all the way out there, it would have been in the middle of the lake being there. So we were able to utilize the drone to find it and make sure that it actually wasn't sunk. Somebody had moved it. It just, the ice was ruffled there, and so from shore it looked like it maybe had gone down. But it was missing. It was off the lake.
I assume the ice is back up to 9, 10.
I think it's so spotty. It depends on where it is. There's some weird open spots in the lake that we're not used to seeing. So it's unusual for sure.
That's neat that you had that drone to be used twice, you said, so far.
Yeah, in the last week, yeah. So it's been very successful. We put that into service spring probably of last year. And we've utilized that more in the last year than the previous drone the whole entire time we had it. So on successful recoveries, of of people and finding, just making sure there's nothing an issue. You know, we had a bluebill, a kayaker go missing in Bluebill, and he was still in the water. We recovered him. He had a life jacket on, but it was dark out. He couldn't find his way to shore.
Mutual aid.
Yeah, mutual aid, we use it, you know, some law enforcement is requested it. We've used it for some law enforcement activities. But it's a pretty good drone. For example, today, it's hard to, when you're out on there and you're looking straight down on ice, everything looks the same. But it's got some functionality. It's got thermal cameras and stuff on it. But it also has a zoom feature, you know, so where we thought the ice house was, we weren't really sure. We were able to zoom in. We could actually see cigarette butts out on the ice. And so we'll get them to you for DNA checking, see who's, oh, okay. Who's ice house. So it's a great added feature of the department. So.
Council, any questions for these gentlemen? No. Thank you for what you guys do. We truly do appreciate that, and gave Jacob some free food. That's good too.
Yeah, I enjoyed the meal.
That's great. Chad? North Iowa Recorder. Welcome, Chad.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I just want to take a quick moment to recognize Josh Thompson, who's been serving at the mayor's request over the last several years in our board, and he appointed Paul Stevenson to take his place. But Josh has been a great board member, represented Clear Lake really well. He's been an exec member the last year or two as well, and also serves in our revolving loan fund committee. So really going to miss him. He chose love to move away from the area, unfortunately, but definitely very happy for him in that opportunity. And hopefully we can get him and his future wife to move back here once some things change with her employment situation. So really do want to thank him, though. He's been a great member, and looking forward to having Paul back on the board. He was a past board member and chair of the organization, and great resource as well. So appreciate you bringing him back to serve with us. Looking forward to that. Having a lot of great activity continuing forward. I think you all probably saw the news with Amazon opening their new facility in Mason City that'll serve the entire region. Actually, they ended up hiring a lot more people than we anticipated originally. Over 100 people are going to work in that facility, so that's very exciting. Sounds like that process went really well. We helped get a couple of hiring fairs set up, so they were very appreciative of that and the way that process all worked. So again, been very good working with those guys through that process. We continue to have good lead opportunities from the state as well as Alliant. I think last month we had submitted 3 pretty significant responses for proposals. One of those included food processing facility. Another was a large data center project, and then some warehousing and distribution. So kind of 3 critical areas for us. And also, actually, I should say we also had another sustainable aviation fuel project that was interested in the region as well that we submitted information for, and a light assembly project. So there's actually 5 of them. So it's been a busy month, but very positive, strong projects. Continuing to work closely with Alliant on some site work down in the South Industrial Park in Mason City that is kind of they're geared up for some large project activity, kind of regional impact type projects. So we're really excited to see that continue to move forward. Also getting close to the start of the legislative session. So a lot of things that we're all watching on that front. I think for the city's purposes, the schools, the property tax situation is going to be something we're watching very closely. It's an area that our lobbying groups are really trying to find a happy middle ground for, because economic development, we kind of play both sides of that issue, frankly, working closely with the cities, the counties, and schools, and then the business side, which is where a lot of the frankly, complaints come from across the state, because everyone thinks they pay too much in property taxes. So our goal always in that is trying to make sure legislators recognize how any little change can have a drastic impact. Jacob knows that better than anybody in Creighton, having to deal with the budget. So that is an issue, of course, we'll be watching closely. The Gazette had a really good article, the Cedar Rapids paper, about that this last week, if you have a chance to check that out. But no hard and fast plans have been presented so far, but they kind of said pretty clearly in that article that something will be done. So again, just want to make sure that your voices are heard. If you have any thoughts, input on that, please let us know. I know obviously with the League of Cities and in the county with their lobbying groups, there's going to be a lot of conversations on this issue. But do just want to make sure that's at the forefront, that we can be at the table for that conversation at a minimum, so. Other things going on would be continuing forward with the NIAC strategic planning process. I'm fortunate to be on the steering committee for that, along with Bennett and I think, about 25 to 30 members of the team over at NIAC. Wednesday, there will actually be about a 3-hour session with all employees and staff of NIAC. So over 200 folks will be participating in that process here on Wednesday. And that's going to carry on all the way through August or so when they're going to complete that plan. North Iowa Quarter, we're also going to be doing some strategic planning over the next couple of months. We'll be doing some staff stuff and some surveys and different things, reaching out to our partners, so you guys will be getting some of that. But as always, reach out to me if you have any thoughts, items you'd like to make sure we're addressing in that process. We want to make sure that we're kind of on the right track, that the action items and things that we're pursuing within our really 4 mission critical areas we see as business retention, making sure our existing businesses are successful, business recruitment, bringing in new ones, workforce, which is kind of important for all of those, and then finally housing, which has really become a critical asset over the last couple of years as well. So we'll be pushing all of that. Next week, State of North Iowa, January 16th at 7:30 a.m. over at Mason City High School's new field house. If you need to get registered, let me know. I can get you signed up for that. And then I know we're also working with NIAC. Jenna on our team is helping lead the way for the NIAC Job Fair coming up in April. So really trying to get people signed up, businesses signed up for that. They have 65 spots, so limited capacity. Trying to get people in there quick and make sure our businesses in Cerro Gordo County are most well represented. So I can close out there unless there's any questions.
Council, any questions for?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Under the rest of Mayor's report, council reminder of strategic planning, Friday morning, 9 a.m., correct, Jen?
Correct.
And that's for council and department heads to start with, and then we'll finish off after 4.5 hours. And we'll be complete, right? Great, yeah, okay. I want to thank Bennett Smith for being Mayor Pro Tem over, a couple of years? Year?
I think it's just been a year, but thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that.
Filling in for me,
Right.
even prior to that. So that
Sure.
we have had several there, and look forward now to Mr. Ebling assisting me, and when I'm gone, filling in for me as Bennett did. So appreciate all that. Jacob, you have anything to add?
Yeah, just a quick update on the budget process. So getting into January here, I had departments submitted their budget request and their current year budget amendment request to me this last Friday. And so now I'm working on compiling everything together, and we'll have our budget workshop on January 24th, where council will have an opportunity to go through it and discuss it together. And then it all gets certified the end of April. So it's a process here, but we're just getting and going with it.
Thank you. Anything else? Meeting adjourned.